My name is Daniel Baker, and I'm one of three National Development Officers here at Bowls Scotland. I cover districts 11 to 24. My role involves supporting the clubs in these districts to develop and modernise, and assist in things like recruiting and retaining new members, looking at club governance, and a variety of different other things. The NDOs can provide a range of support to clubs to assist them, and a lot of this can be found in our annual calendar. At the end of the 2021 season, we conducted a club survey, and this was to get an understanding of how clubs got on during the 2021 season, the difficulties they were facing, and what additional support for clubs that was still required to look ahead into 2022. We were fortunate enough to have 368 of our clubs respond to the survey, and that gave some really valued input to get some really good data around what extra things that we can help to provide to clubs looking ahead to 2022. We asked about how clubs felt and the communication they received from Bowls Scotland, and what we've been provided. 93% of the clubs were either very satisfied or satisfied with this information that Bowls Scotland provided. And then when it came to the support, there was over 90% of the clubs that got back to us were able to say that they knew they had an NDO that covered their area. And the NDOs were we feel quite fortunate. Our engagement jumped quite a bit last year, where it jumped from 51% the previous year up to 73%. So the more clubs that we can engage with, hopefully then the more that we can all just work together to continue trying to modernise and build our sport for the future. A lot of clubs, 68%, were able to say that they were able to get at least a partial season last year in 2021, with 65% of clubs offering either a discounted or free membership to existing club members. So that's a huge thing, just to try and look to give some sort of encouragement or incentive to try and retain existing members in clubs. And that's probably still going to be something that's going to be quite a highlight of a focus for the sport as we move forward and look ahead to the 2022 season. 21% of clubs delivered a recruitment event, with just under half of these through the Try Bowls programme, and that still shows quite a great thing that clubs are really still proactively always looking at trying to get new members, and that's ways that the NDOs can help in the areas. Myself, Laura and Stuart can have those discussions with clubs to just get an idea as to what it is they're looking for and how we can help them with that. When we asked clubs about what their priorities were going to be looking ahead to 2022, there was three main things that came out of that. One of them was recruiting new members, where we had 76% of clubs said that. 84% of clubs, which is quite a big percentage, said that they would still retaining existing members was going to be a priority for 2022, with 60% of clubs saying that taking part in competitions was something that they were going to be looking forward to in 2022. And I think that's something that we're all going to be looking forward to, is just getting back into a bowling season where it does feel a wee bit more normal than what we've maybe had to go through the last couple of years, which hasn't been easy, we know that, and that's where we're hopefully just trying to provide many things as possible to clubs to try and help and support them through the journey that they're on. And some of the key topics that were highlighted that clubs were mostly interested in was district forums, coaching courses, and club development workshops. Now, we've got a range of club development workshops as part, and coaching courses, which all come as part of an annual calendar that Laura will talk a wee bit more about later. Some of the key recommendations that we've put is just that have came as a result of the survey, as a result of what those 368 clubs have said to us, is that as Bowls Scotland has to just continuously keep reviewing how we communicate with clubs, just to make sure that we continue building on that. You know, that constantly becomes something that is always on high on the agenda, to make sure that what we are communicating to clubs is the right things and it's what clubs want to hear about. Another recommendation was to provide a comprehensive calendar of events that included pretty much everything. You know, included all the competitions, all the workshops, the coaching courses, the forums, everything that would be happening for the year, so that it could show the wide range of support that is available for clubs to be able to tap into. Another key recommendation was to continue to provide direct support to clubs through the NDO network, you know, so through the three NDOs in the areas that we cover. We're obviously going to try and look to do that by having a variety of different district drop-in sessions, and you know, getting back out and about to clubs. It's something, you know, the three of us are itching to get back to doing, and something we're really excited about getting back to for the 2022 season. Review the Club Crisis Fund to evaluate the impact that clubs at risk of closure. That's obviously, over the last couple of years, quite a significant number of clubs, from the responses that we had, have thought that they were at some risk of closure. So us continuously reviewing the Club Crisis Fund and getting understanding that impact that was able to have, is another key recommendation that came from the survey. And then the final key recommendation was just to provide platforms for discussion and sharing best practice with clubs and between clubs across Scotland, and that's something that we'll look to do. We'll look to do that throughout the whole year, whether it be through the district forums, whether it be through our drop-in sessions, through our club development workshops, or some other workshops that we may run as well. You know, is getting that idea that clubs can talk to clubs, because at the end of the day, we all want what's best for the sport. We all want what's best for bowls to modernise and to develop and to be sustainable for the future. So the only way that works is if we're all around the table and talking to each other, because then we can all share what everybody does well and we can all learn from each other.